Hello, welcome to a wet one. One of a long time since it last rained, I think.
Yeah, so we can't grumble because we need some water for the canals, don't we?
Just slightly, very, very little.
As we're recording this, there's still 9% of the canals closed because of low water levels.
You mean we can't go anywhere? What are we moving for then?
Anyway, we hope you enjoy this week's video.
Tunnels!
Yeah,
That's what it is.
Starts where we left off last week.
Tunnels!
Yeah. Netherton Tunnel.
Big, dark, black holes. It's space, Jim, but not as we know it. Sorry.
And then we did a visit through the Dudley Tunnel on the electric boat with the Dudley Canal and Tunnel Trust. So that was really interesting. And then we had a walk around the Black Country Living Museum to find out a bit more about the history of the area.
That didn't have a tunnel.
It didn't have a tunnel. No.
It's not tunnels then, is it?
You can see why it's called Black Country though. It's got black feet, didn't we? Black paths all around there.
But you know, it meant to walk with shoes on, you know.
Anyway, hope you enjoy.
I take it that's a hint. Push the button, ring the bell. It's free to you and me and her. Free to you and me.
We'll see you at the end. Netherton Tunnel's just under 3 kilometres long. Room for boats to pass and a tow path down the side of it. And then we're going to join the Birmingham new line for a small distance, cross over onto the old line and go down to Tiverton Ponds, which is another silver propeller challenge we can tick off today. Through here is very wet in places, so if you're going to walk through for some reason, I suggest you wear boots. With the age of the tunnel, it's obviously needed repairs over the years. The section here has got pins in it to keep it secure and has been concrete lined as well.
Boot.
Here we are.
Boot.
Got a silly head on today. We're on the Dudley Canal and Tunnel Trust boat.
Oh yeah.
Going to do a trip through the tunnels.
Again.
On their electric boats.
Yeah.
Extinguishers, first aid kits, anything in the event of an emergency is on board and ready for us to use. Listen to me and Matt if there's any problems and we'll sort you out at all times. Please keep arms, hands, legs, heads inside the boat at all times. The boat will come in contact with the tunnel wall. Anything trapped between the boat and the tunnel will be squished. So keep arms and hands inside the boat at all times. Two of the oldest limestone mines in Dudley. One on the left, one on the right. Okay, so you've got a flooded mine on your left hand side, Tipton mine on your right. You can see exactly how the boat should have been tied up nice and tight, and the boat should have been filled with limestone in this very basin.
Now, to get our way through the mines, what we've done is we've created a couple of entrances.
It's got the gate on it. It's a third of a mile long, that one. Takes you into limestone mines known as the Seven Sisters. Not been used since 1928, that one. We'll get around to reopening that if you ever get the 28 million quid needed. We are asking for donations and we have raised £27.55. Right, so we're making our way down the 89 tunnel, folks. Built and opened in 1989. It's one of our newest tunnels. We had this built to replace the original tunnel, which was so dangerous to repair. We had to replace it with a new one. Here it is. It's been sprayed with concrete though to make it look old, because if you take all the concrete off, you'd find concrete pieces bolted together. Please feel free. Enjoy the show, folks.
Billions of years ago, as our planet formed, it was born as a world of molten rock and poisonous vapors.
we are coming across Cathedral Arch. Got our two boats on the left hand side as you go across. Boat number 6. It's just upstairs from the Dudley archives, so you've got fossils in there to look at as well, so have a look in there if you get a chance as well.
We spent a nice couple of days moored here at the Dudley Tunnel and Canal Trust. Went through the tunnel with Canal on our boat, on their electric trip boat yesterday. There's full facilities behind us there, although there's bins on the hill behind that building. There's no recycling, which is a bit disappointing, but probably the cleanest showers I've used anywhere for a very long time, so that was nice. There's our boat, and then just behind me there is the Black Country Museum, so that's where we're going to explore next. There's an array of different buildings being moved to the site. Just over there with the arrow is an old school building. They have lessons every half an hour, was it, during the day?
Half hour,
People sit in on traditional lessons.
Yeah, and then you've got
that pub there is just being rebuilt. There's one called the Elephant and Castle that was actually demolished in 2001, being rebuilt to replicate what the pub was like originally. There's old mine shafts. Ventilation chambers behind us there. There's a parade of shops that have been moved, all with traditional artefacts in as well.
one had the radio shop, one was the motorbike shop, one was a cafe that did fish and chips.
Which did smell nice.
Yeah. Then there was the clothes shop, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Then a determined restaurant next to the schoolhouse.
There's a whole new section under construction here. This is where the Elephant and Castle pub is, on the corner. And then there's going to be sections celebrating rock and roll music and the NHS. So it's obviously forever changing and stuff forever being added. So I encourage people to come back again and do more than one tour. Your entrance ticket does give you a year's membership as well, so that's worth getting. There's a mining area that you can explore as well, so I'm just going to go and have a look and see what's in there. And there's the old mine shaft up there. This lovely old building houses the first built steam engine from 17 something. I can't see the sign on the door at the moment, and there's a whole group of school children just gone in there, so we can't get in there at the moment, unfortunately.
But that would have pumped the water out the mine shaft, which is similar to the Cobb's engine building that we went to see the other day.
And it's also what they used to fill the canals, was the water from the mines to fill the canals. Yeah. And this is the canal area. I can't see it very well with the reflection, but this is the canal area with the old work boats on. Old horse-drawn working caravan there.
We've got traditional stayed wooden rudders on some of the boats, as well as the everyday, what we see now, metal tillers.
There we go, I've turned the camera around and there's a better view there. You can't see, you haven't got the bad reflections. So this is the canal area. And this is one of the old work boats that would have been used down in the mines and the tunnels that we went through yesterday. And here's another work boat, and this one has still got cabin and tiller on the back. I'll take it up and show you. This is what Paul was talking about with the wooden tillers on. Wouldn't be going anywhere though, because although the back cabin and tiller has obviously been restored, there's no bottom to it. You can see the plants growing up through it. There's some old rudders in one of the sheds here, and you can see just how huge they are, with Paul stood next to them as well for example of the size of them. There's lots of examples of chain as well, which was also made locally and is now part of the logo for the Black Country. This is an old canal day boat called Joey that was built in 1898 by Braithwaite and Kirk of West Bromwich. There's all sorts of workshops dotted around the site. This one is an old bakery.
Walk down the road.
This is the old coal dealer's yard, so you can see there where they would have weighed the coal out. People used to come and collect it, not like us now, going to deliver to our boats. And there's a couple of old carriages here which probably belonged to the coal dealer, because they would have been one of the more well-off people of the area, so been able to afford a bit of luxury like these carriages for the horses. Just leaving the Black Country Museum, and then we're going to turn left when we get to the junction.
Are you looking at me for some inspiration?
And head further up the Wolverhampton level section.
Well done, you're doing really, really
of
well.
The BCN.
Okay, we're doing what first?
Then we... What?
We're going through a...
Oh yeah, then we're going through Coseley Tunnel.
Yeah. Doing really, really well.
And then we're turning right.
Well done.
And
She
going
has a bit of a
down...
bad problem with lefts and rights.
Oh, a bit of a bad problem with everything at the moment. And going down the Bradley Junction, which is going to be our next Silver Propeller Challenge location. So we hope you enjoyed that.
I'm paying attention to that way, sorry.
Both Dudley Tunnel Tour and the Black Country Living Museum, well worth doing.
Black gold. Guess what?
And Black Country Living Museum, like we said in the video, you pay your entrance fee, which is £20 each, but then you get a year's entrance. That is definitely worth it, because they're developing it continually. We've used it twice so far, but I'm sure they'll have Christmas things going on there that we'll come back for.
Guess what?
What?
There's a black hole.
Oh yeah, look, it's another
It's
tunnel.
another tunnel! Whoa! Told you there's tunnels this week.
And it's tunnels next week too. So this is Coseley Tunnel we're coming up to.
Look at all them steps going to the top.
Excuse me. This is Coseley Tunnel, and this is where next week's video will start.
Are you going to tell them?
What?
That it's grading.
About?
It's grading.
Yeah, it's grade 2 listed tunnel, but it's on next week's video.
Oh, this is good.
Anyway, we're going to say goodbye as we go into the darkness of the tunnel.
It's live stream, but I don't know what it is.
Please don't forget, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Help us grow the channel.